नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्से पुण्यानि परलोकस्मिन् पतित्थाहुन्ति पानिनान्ति. Venerable monks, dear devotees, today you are preparing to celebrate your annual Kathina celebration. Just now, Reverend Saranankara mentioned the significance of this religious service, and I have been watching for the last few years the development in various activities in different ways. I have known this place for the last 37 years. But for the last few years I have seen the progress and the religious services that you have been rendering for the upliftment of the religion as well as the knowledge and understanding and the devotion of the devotees. For that, I would like to give due credit to Reverend Saranankara for giving this confidence and convincing, encouraging these devotees by giving full support within his capacity. If the resident monk is not active, not honest, and not enthusiastic, whatever effort made by the devotees and the members, it is very difficult to see the development or the progress of a Buddhist temple. So this annual Kathina celebration, I think you have heard the significance, why you are very keen, why you pay more attention towards this particular religious service. The word Kathina means unshakable, a strong. This particular religious service or the meritorious deed is unshakable. There are few more. Offerings of 8 requisite for the monks, offerings of Kathina Chivara or the robe, erecting Buddha images and shrine rooms, publications or publishing religious books to improve the knowledge, to guide people to follow the religious way of life. These are known as lasting, not temporary, which gives lasting happiness, merits, confidence throughout our life. For an example, you contribute something within your capacity to erect a Buddha image. Every time when you visit this place, or when you think of this image, when you come to know that thousands and thousands of devotees for generations come and pay homage, practice meditation, and calm their mind, gain religious knowledge and understanding and confidence, you gain some sort of happiness because you have contributed something. When you gain this happiness, every time you increase the degrees of your merits that you have accrued earlier. So there is no end. As long as you live, as long as you maintain happiness in your mind, every time when you think of your meritorious deeds, you increase the merits. That is the secret. That is why this is regarded as unshakable and very mighty, very strong. Why it is strong? Why it is unshakable? During our lifetime, we create lot of mistakes. Due to our weakness, ignorance, misunderstanding, or temptations or irritation influence us to commit lot of bad deeds. This is the disadvantage of our worldly life. No one can live in this world without making mistake. At the same time, by realizing this weakness, we try to do more and more meritorious deeds. Try to be good, try to do good, try to do some service to others, try to cultivate our mind, to train our mind. Then we may get the chance to overcome the effect of certain bad deeds that we have committed earlier through the influence of the meritorious deeds that we have accrued. But these particular meritorious deeds, such as offering of kathina, chivara or the robes, and erecting the Buddha image, and publications of religious books, and shrine rooms, and preaching hall for other devotees to follow this noble religion. These merits are unshakable. These merits get the chance to come forward, although there are some other evil deeds or the mistakes that we have committed earlier. It does not mean that we can wipe out or wash away all the bad deeds that we have committed earlier by performing this kind of meritorious deed. Then what will happen? We can suspend, we can postpone, we can topple the effect of certain bad deeds through the influence of the merits that we gain through these kathina and chivara and requisite and images and publications and places of worship. Robe is not a dress. It is called Arahat Dhaja, banner of the Arahantas. The robe is the banner of a holy man. Not only Buddhists, even non-Buddhists also respect this robe by knowing this is a holy religious symbol. A person who uses this robe must be a harmless person, must be an honest person, kind-hearted person, not cruel or harmful or dangerous or cunning person. Anikkasavo kasavang yovattang paridahissati. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha has said, a person who is not worthy of wearing this robe, if that person is cunning or cruel or selfish or wicked, he is not worthy of wearing this yellow robe. To maintain the religious significance of this holy banner, a person who uses this robe must be a worthy person. That is why even small children who cannot understand, who cannot appreciate the real significance of robe, even then, naturally, they raise their arm and pay respect and say sadhu. Sadhu means wonderful, nice, excellent, the meaning of this word. So the mind of a small child also can be influenced having seen a yellow robe. Again, I remember a story so that you can understand how significant and useful this yellow robe. There was a hunter who has never done any meritorious deeds. Almost every day he goes out for hunting animals. But one of his sons has become a monk. This man, when he was very old, is about to die. I think you have heard what sort of thoughts appeared in the dying man's mind as last thought. There are 3 signals to indicate the destiny or the fate of this dying man. Kamma, Kamma nimitta and Gati nimitta. Each and every person must go through these 3 stages. Otherwise no one can die. A person may die due to a plane crash, instant death. What is wrong with this? This one doesn't work, is it? Instant death. Even then, death never takes place until these 3 stages appear in the mind. Kamma, Kamma nimitta and Gati nimitta. We cannot create any thought, any ideas deliberately or purposely at that moment, because that is the time that subconscious mind focus, influence all our mental activities that we have deposited in the subconscious mind. Senses are not working with the mind. All our mental activities, good and bad karmas that we have committed, start to work just like a film show, but cannot express, cannot explain to others because senses are not working. Mind experience. Just like dreams. So the first thought, the last thought, when all our mental activities, good and bad deeds have been working there, the last thought which appear in the mind, that can be a good karma or a bad karma, which influence our mind very deeply. You know, certain things, good deed that we have done, influence our mind. Occasionally we can remember. That means that particular karmic action influenced the minds very deeply. Certain bad deeds also that we have committed, we can recall, we can remember throughout our life. Such karmic deeds, action, can appear in the mind at the last moment. When we practice certain meritorious deeds, that can be a very minor, very small action, but you use this as your habit, practice almost every day, then very easily you can remember, recall, or if not naturally, appear as last thoughts in your mind. Then your rebirth cannot become a miserable one, because the last thought is clear. After this karmic thought, then the effect of this karma also appear in the mind. That is called kamma nimitta. What sort of result, effect, we experience according to this particular karma? Some people witness the vision which appear in the mind. Jungle, darkness, fierce animals, certain indications which appear in the mind which can create fear, suspicion, confusion, uncertainty. That means life cannot become peaceful or fortunate or happy. The indications are not very good. On the other hand, flower gardens, waterfalls, angels, very happy and pleasing indications appear. Then, according to these good karmas, the rebirth, existence again cannot become a miserable one. That means that person can depart from this world with confidence and hopes and cheerfulness. But many others, maintain worries, unhappiness, confusion, uncertainty. Then the last one, Gati Nimitta. We can understand where we go. The belief that people maintain that after our death, our departed spirit remain for a certain period in searching a suitable place is a mythology, is a belief. Buddhism never accepts this belief. There is no gap between death and rebirth. There is no interval between death and rebirth. When we throw a stone, that stone must drop somewhere. Cannot remain somewhere without dropping it. When we shoot a bullet or an arrow, that must strike somewhere. Never remain halfway. In the same manner, when the departed consciousness is transmitted, it will never remain halfway. It must reach somewhere, absorb into the cosmic energies and elements. So, before the consciousness depart from here, the object or the place or the destiny or the direction, we know where we go. We can understand our fate, but we cannot tell others. Unconscious. So this man, what happened? He has gone through all these stages. He has not done any meritorious deeds. According to his bad karma, he has seen the last indication. Flame of fire is not a good sign. Burning sensation. When he saw the color of this flame, it is like this. This is the color of a flame. Then he remembered, this is the color of my son's robe, fire. The happiness, what is wrong with this mic? No sound? Huh? Very irritable feeling to me. Can you remember? The color of the robe, just like flame. The happiness, confidence, inspiration, devotion that he had in his mind, having seen this color, when he remembered the color of the robe, he had the chance to be born as a human being. Otherwise, either in hell or ghost or devils or animal kingdom. But don't forget, all the bad deeds that he has done never disappear. Remains in the waiting list. Whenever chances arise, as long as he exists in this world, in this universe, the bad effect also follow him. This is the uncertainty in our life. So I wanted to mention this to give you some sort of confidence. Why? Other religionists may come and tell you, we have our God. When you confess, the God can forgive your sins. But you have to believe, you have to accept. But according to your religion, Buddhism, there is no God. The Buddha says he cannot forgive your sins. Why not to accept our religion? All your sins will be forgiven. What do you think about that? It's not a bad idea, isn't it? You can do anything. The God is there to forgive. So what is your answer? You have no answer, you surrender your religion. Because you need a shortcut to heaven. You don't care whether it is true or not. Whether it is possible or not, you never think. What you want is, if there is someone who can forgive your sin, if there is someone who can send you to heaven, that is enough. This is the nature of our mind. Here, remember this. The Buddha's advice is, Suddhi asuddhi pacchatang nanya manya visodhe, in Dhammapada. Purity and impurities. These two things are our own. Another person, either Buddha or God or human beings, cannot create impurities in our mind. We do that. Another person cannot do that. On the other hand, another person cannot create purity. These two things are our own creation. Now I can scold you by using dirty word and wicked word. If you know how to guard your mind, if you think that I am a fool, just wasting my time by scolding you, if you never get angry, I cannot pollute your mind. On the other hand, I try to create temptation in your mind. But you know the nature of this. You know the effect of this. You can understand what it is. I cannot change your mind. Whatever method I adapt to influence you, that is what the Buddha says. Others cannot create this in your mind, but you create this by taking that into your mind. So, good karma or bad karma or sins. Bad karmas are known as sins. That means impurities of the mind. Sins means impurities of the mind, defilements of the mind. Another person cannot wash away, cannot take away. But here the method taught by the Buddha. You should not create frustration or disappointment, thinking that there is nobody to help us. But you can help you. Don't depend on others. Don't depend on others. When you come to know that you have done, you have committed such bad deed, from that day onward, try to do more and more meritorious deeds. Try to maintain healthy mind. Try to reduce your anger, jealousy, grudge and evil forces and selfishness from your mind. Then you can overcome, you can avoid, you can get rid of the bad effect of certain bad karmas that you have done. This is the method taught by the Buddha. Not simply by worshipping or offerings or praying to anybody. It is impossible for us to get rid of the bad effect of the bad karma. But by doing more and more service to others, by maintaining healthy mind, by radiating our kindness and compassion, understanding and cooperation, these are meritorious deeds. Then the bad deeds, the effect become weaker, and the good deeds and the good karmas that you have accumulated become stronger. So this particular karma that you are going to perform is called one of the weighty karmas, a strong karmas, which can come forward for us to experience the better result. What are the results that we are waiting for? As long as we live in this world, always uncertainty is there. Please remember this. Unreliable. Our minds are unreliable. I cannot trust my mind. I have to tell you very frankly. I am not a hypocrite. If you say that you can trust your mind, you are a number one hypocrite. This is the nature of the mind. Today you determine, decide not to do certain things. Tomorrow you will do that. Tomorrow you think, never mind. This is the nature of our mind. Today you determine to do something. Next day, you say, never mind, next time, not tomorrow. Changes take place in our mind according to circumstances, environment, the ideas which appear in our mind can change the mental attitude. This situation remains until we attain the first stage of sainthood, Sotapan. There is no guarantee that we never change our mind below that level. There is no guarantee that we never go back to animal life. There is no guarantee that we will never become a devil or ghost or animals or any other unfortunate living beings. But only after attaining the first stage of sainthood, Sotapanna, we can say that this person never go backward, That is why it is called Sotapanna. A stream winner goes straight, upward journey, never turn back. That is one-way traffic until he attain the final goal, Nirvana. Just now, I mentioned a sayings of the Buddha. Punyani paralokasming patittha honti panina. During our lifetime, we accumulate so many things. Money, jewelry, houses, lands, properties. We can make use of them as long as we live. Even then, uncertainty is there. So whatever we have accumulated can be destroyed by fire, flood. Thieves come and take away. Government can confiscate. Others can bluff you and swindle you. If not, due to your ignorance or negligence, you lose. This is the uncertainty of your property, your money, your income. Therefore, there is no guarantee. But this particular item, which is called merit, there is nobody in this world who can destroy this. Fire cannot destroy, flood cannot destroy, thieves cannot take away, government cannot confiscate, others cannot bluff or swindle and take away. That is the only property that you can claim as your own property. And certainty is there. Not only that, everything that you have collected, accumulated, you can use only up to your last breath, but not beyond that. You have to drop everything here and go alone. Punyani paralokasming patittha honti paninang. Here the Buddha says, there's only one thing that can help you in the next life. That is punya. What is punya? Punya means certain deeds that we have done with understanding, with pure mind, by reducing our anger and craving and selfishness, with good intention. Remember these qualities. Whenever we do some good deeds, with good intention, with pure mind, without selfishness, without anger or selfishness or craving or cruelty. Now the mind is pure, intention is good, action is good. That is called punya. That is called kusala kamma. This is called meritorious deed. This merit, this is the only thing that which support us hereafter, after our death. After going there, it is impossible, it is very difficult for us to change our life. When you see this world, you can understand this very clearly. Millions and millions of human beings are starving and dying without food. That means they have not accumulated enough merits to lead a human life. Millions and millions of human beings are living without even a piece of cloth to cover their nakedness. Unfortunate human beings. They haven't got enough merits. Millions of human beings are living without any shelter for generations under the trees or pavements or roadside. Millions are dying without any medicine for their sicknesses. They are working day and night like slaves, but still cannot find out even 3 meals a day. Why? This is the secret. They have not done enough good karmas to spend in the next life. That is why the Buddha says, Punyani paralokasming patittha honti paninam. While we are living here, while we are enjoying our life, we spend our good karmas that we have done during the previous birth, last birth. If you spend everything here without collecting some more for the next life, what will happen to us? We go bankrupt. No more merits for us to spend in the next life. So don't go with empty hand. You must have something in your pocket when you depart from here. This is not the first and the last life. We have to continue this journey until we attain our final goal. This is a very tough, very hard. Kichang machana jivitang, also in Dhammapada. Very, very difficult thing to maintain, to carry on, to lead a real human life. Lot of troubles and difficulties and problems and calamities and worries and disturbances. How many thousands and one problems we had to face. How many times a day we cry and worry and experience disturbances. How many minutes we can maintain happiness and cheerfulness and peace in our mind. Almost every day there are disturbances, complaints, worries, unhappiness. That is why it is very difficult to lead, to carry on a real human life without facing these problems and difficulties. Every day we are going on complaining, accusing, blaming. Why? We are not happy. But there are some who can maintain some sort of satisfaction, happiness, because they have enough merits. By considering, by knowing this situation, our duty is punyanche puriso kaira kairate tang puna puna. Again the Buddha says, by knowing this, what we have to do, whenever there is any chances, opportunities, try to do some meritorious deeds. Do some service to others, be kind, be honest. These are meritorious deeds. And then, this life never become empty. this life never become miserable. We have to learn this. So today you are here by knowing this situation to participate these meritorious deeds, and by spending your time and devoting your valuable time to participate this religious service, the merits that you gain will help, support, guide, direct for you to have a peaceful, contented, to maintain your noble way of life, to keep away from evil deeds, to maintain some sort of satisfactions and happiness, and to avoid uncertainty. Then with hopes and confidence we can carry on our life. That is the advantage of meritorious deeds. Otherwise, we cannot remain forever in this universe, in this samsara. Changes can take place. We try to be good, even then we experience difficulties. Then we make mistake. Again we have to go back. So always we make mistake. When we are angry, we forget everything. When we are crazy, we forget everything. When our minds are influenced and create a temptation, we forget everything. We forget our religion. We forget all the important things. Fickle mind. This is called fickle mind. Uncertainty in our mind. That is why I told you, I cannot trust my mind. Then how can I trust your mind? Today you can come and show your smiling face. Tomorrow you may go and show me your sour face. This is the nature of the mind. So by knowing this, try to adjust as much as possible. Then one day you will reach the final goal. You will win the battle. Then you will be happy. After that, no worries, no sufferings, no complaints, no problems, no difficulties. Physically and mentally, we will be free from all these complaints that we are grumbling today. May you all find peace, happiness, good health, long life, and in the end, the most blissful state of happiness, which is called Nibbana, where we can find the purpose of our life, the aim of our life. We are doing all these religious services by aiming at our final goal, the purpose of our life. Thank you, sir. This FM mic, isn't it? Then what is this? Why voice always reduce and very irritable feeling, Next time don't use this mic, I'll throw away, if I use this one. Very irritable, I see the nature of the mind, Use ordinary mic. You are using from this, isn't it? Very irritable. Why can't you use, you haven't got the amplifier set? Here. Alright, I will donate one set for you next time, because I cannot tolerate this anymore. Be practical. Don't follow any tradition blindly. Those days when there were no sewing machine, remember, people bring this piece of cloth and give enough time for people to cut into pieces and use needle like this. It will take from morning up to evening to make one rope. Today within 1 or 2 hours people can make one rope. Why it is necessary for people to come but so early, about 5:30 or 6? Allow them to sleep. Go home and sleep. Don't follow any religious tradition blindly, not knowing why it is. Come here about 7 o'clock. More than enough. We have enough time to make this robe. We must be practical. Here in Brickfield Temple, I never allow them to come before 7. Even yesterday, this morning, typing also I did the same thing. Nothing wrong. Anything else that you want to know? Then monks and for all the devotees, for your peace and happiness and all the good work that you have been doing here to give you moral support. So we do some chanting. Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma Itipiso bhagavarahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro sarati sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati sakkhato bhagavata dhammo akaliko ehi passiko panayiko paccattam veditabbo viñño supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka ñāya patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho sāmīci patipanno bhagavato Yadidam chattari purisa yugani atta purisa puggala esa bhagavato sāvaka ahuneyo bahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anuttaram puññakhettam Etena sacca vajjena pātu tam ratanatayam etena sacca vajjena pātu tam etena sacca vajjena pātu tam ratanatayam karaniyam atta kusalena yantam santam padam Sakko ujuca sujuca suvaco jassa mudu anatimani santussa koca subharoca appakiccoca santindiyoca nipakoca appagabho kulesu ananugiddho naca khuddam samacare kinciyena Upavadeyam sukhino akemino hontu sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta panabhutatti tasavathavaravānavase adhigāvā emahamtāvā Dittha eva addittha eca dure vasanti avidure bhutava sambhave siva bhavantu dukhitatta naparo param nikubbetha nati manyetha katha jidam kanchi Patigha sanyānānya maññassa dukkhamiccheyya mātā yathāniyam puttam nāyusā eka putta evampi sabba bhūtesu māna sambhāvaye aparimānaṁ mettāñca sabba मान संभावये अपरिमाणं उद्धं अदोच तिर्यं च असंबाधं अवेरं चित्तं जरं निसिन्नो वा दयानो वा यावतस्य विगतमिद्धो एतं गतिं ब्रह्ममेतं विहारं निधमाहुदिष्ठिं च अनुपगम्यशीलवादर्शनेन कामेषु विनय्यगेधं नहि जातु गभ्यसेयम् एतेन सत्यवाज्येन सोत्थिते होतु सर्वदा एतेन सत्यवाज्येन सोत्थिते एतेन सत्यवाज्येन सोत्थिते होतु सर्वदा महाकारुणिको नाथो हिताय सब्ब पूरेत्वा पारमी सब्बावत्तो सम्बोधिमुत्तमं एतेन सच्च होतु ते जय मंगलं जयन्तो बोधियामूले दाक्यानं नन्दी एवं तुह्यं जयो तु जयसु जय मंगलं साक्षात्वा बुद्धरत्नं हितं देव मनुष्याणां बुद्धचेजेन सोत्थिनानस्सन्तु बद्धवा सब्बे दुःखा उप साक्षात्वा धम्मरत्नं औषधं उत्तमं वरं परिलाभोपशमनं धम्मतेजेन भयावुपशमिन्तु ते साक्षात्वा सङ्घरत्नं औषधं उत्तमं वरं आहुनेयम् संघतेजेन सोत्थिनानस्सन्तु बद्धवा सब्बे रोगा उप यं किञ्चिरत्नं लोके विद्यते विविधा बुद्धरत्नं बुद्धसमं नास्ति तस्मात् सोत्थि यं किञ्चिरत्नं लोके विद्यते विविधा बुद्धरत्नं धम्मसमं नास्ति तस्मात् सोत्थि यं किञ्चिरत्नं लोके विद्यते विविधा बुद्धरत्नं संघसमं नास्ति तस्मात् सोत्थि नास्ति मे शरणं अन्यं बुद्धो मे शरणं वरं एतेन सत्यवाज्येन होतु ते नास्ति मे शरणं अन्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरं एतेन सत्यवाज्येन मंगलं नास्ति मे शरणं अन्यं संघो मे शरणं वरं एतेन सत्यवाज्येन होतु ते सब्बीत्यो विभज्यन्तु सर्वरोगो विनश्यतु मा ते भवत्वन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घात् भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वधर्मानुभावेन भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सोत्थि भवन्तु ते नक्षत्रयकभूतानां पापगः परित्तस्सानुभावेन हन्त्वा तेषामुपद्रवे नक्षत्रयक पापगः निवारणा परित्तस्सानुभावेन हन्त्वा तेषां නක්ඛත්තයක්ඛ භූතානං පාපග්ගා පරිත්තස්සානුභාවේන හන්त्वा තේසං උපද්දවේ. So now, sharing of merit with devas. ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවා නාග මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක එත්තාවතා ච අම්මේහි සම්බතං පුඤ්ඤ දේවා අනුමෝදන්තු සබ්බ සම්පත්ති සිද්ධියා. Sharing of merits or transference of merits to our departed one. Idam ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං